Monster Hunter's rare species are defined as alternate forms of certain monsters that are rarer than the subspecies counterpart. They feature alternate color palettes and boast astronomical strength that have evolved beyond the original monster's capabilities. Now, they're usually fought in secluded areas and carry such danger to them that they're classified as Elder Dragon level threats in most cases. As of making this video, there are only 9 rare species in the entire series, which means that this video won't take a piece of my soul to make, and I'm thankful for that, unlike the subspecies that I might eventually do. I'm going to be ranking these rare species from worst to best based on my personal opinion, so feel free to disagree respectfully or cry about it. I don't really care which one you do in the comment section, but my ranking is based on how much fun they are to fight, how they change or enhance the original monster's traits, and of course, personal bias. Without further ado, my name is Josh, also known as
Farron's Undead Legion, the Abyss Watchers.
And I hope you enjoy. At number 9 is Arbiter Australian. I'm sure many of you watching have no idea who this monster is. And yeah, I don't either. There are many Monster Hunter games that have never made it into America or had an English translation. One such game was Monster Hunter Online, a free-to-play MMO developed by Tencent Games in collaboration with Capcom. And it was made specifically for the Chinese market. It launched in 2013 and went into open beta in 2015. But was officially shut down on December 31st, 2019, right when COVID was entering pandemic status, no less. Australian was the flagship of Monster Hunter Online and not only had a rare species, but a subspecies as well. Honestly, there's not much to say for this entry because I haven't fought it, and all the footage on YouTube are like speedruns that last 3 minutes, so there's not even much to go off of. Hypnocatrice is arguably one of the rarest monsters in the mainline series alone because it was only featured in Freedom Unite, a game from 2009 and has never returned since then. It was also one of the first cases that a monster from Frontier made it into the mainline series. Fortunately for me, I played, not that game, but Frontier Z, a Japanese exclusive MMO with the English patch so I could understand what was going on. And in this game, Hypnocatrice got a brand new rare species named Silver Hypno. Silver Hypno sports a more potent sleep sac that he can use in advanced ways to put hunters to sleep. Sleep is this monster's game, and I can't count on my fingers how many times this monster alone has put me to bed. Compared to the original species, Silver Hypno has gained stronger legs for some reason. They don't actually tell you why, but he has stronger legs now, and he can cause mini earthquakes with it and deal considerable damage during the hunt. Even though there's no reason for why he has these adaptations, the fight is quite different enough where it's like, okay, I can tell this is a rare species, and it's more powerful. Hypnocatrice relies a lot on its sleep abilities, while the rare species can also hold its ground in the physical category, so there's a balance there, and I do like that. It's an alright fight, I'm not totally crazy about it. There are enough differences in the fight that I can tell it is a stronger version of Hypnocatrice, but otherwise, he's a forgetful monster. Even as a rare species, based on the ecology, some of the more basic monsters like Raytheon or Espinos can easily overpower them, so I have it pretty high on the list. Speaking of Espinos, we got this incredible monster in Sunbreak and was actually in my top 20 favorite monsters of all time video. In the later updates, we were also introduced to its subspecies, Flaming Espinos. But did you know there's also a rare species exclusive to Frontier? White Espinos from Monster Hunter Frontier was an absolute monster. If I may just show a short clip of what this guy can do. And see, that is but a mere glimpse into the absolute ridiculousness that is this game. White Espinos is similar to its original counterpart. It harmonizes flames and poisons into most of its attacks, except this species can produce giant toxic flame tornadoes that can wipe out entire teams. During its enraged state, he can surround himself with a similar attack, but there's an opening you can walk through to get in some cheeky hits if you're quick enough. And it is a rough fight. Ironically, nowhere near the toughest fight in the game. And funny enough, there's a version of a rare species, I guess, in Frontier. They're called hardcore monsters. It's weird, like in other games, rare species tend to be endgame bosses, but in Frontier, they're another stepping stone into G rank. Regardless, I really like White Espinos. It was a great fight, but it's held back by more modern rare species that have updated mechanics. Such as Gold Raytheon, who takes the number 6 spot. First of all, I love her color scheme. I like in general a monster that has a monochromatic color palette, which means they have one basic color and it has different tints or shades. And gold is such a perfect color for Raytheon. Gold Raytheon, much like white Espinas, is the full potential of what Raytheons are capable of. Their signature tail flip has advanced in such drastic ways with the rare species, and her abilities over flame are uncontested. For example, you know that Raytheon can shoot the nuke fireball, but Gold Raytheon can shoot 3 of them at once. It's ridiculous! She can also combo into a tail flip if a hunter is nearby with that triple nuke fireball, which manages to hit me most of the time. Now in the older games, besides that one new attack, there really wasn't much of a difference. Really, I would say this is one of the easiest rare species on this list because, I've always thought Raytheon was easy. However, starting in Monster Hunter World, Gold Raytheon and her male counterpart would get a brand new powerful state, known as incandescence. Their upper bodies would burn a bright blue, indicating an elevated strength in their firepower. Now, their fireballs would be powerful nukes, and the nukes beforehand would be even stronger. Because, why not? And the games became more advanced, and so that means the monsters have more creativity and freedom to do things like this. I think it's a great new phase that adds some danger to these otherwise normal Raytheon and Rathalos. When it comes to Gold Raytheon, I truly can't say there's anything else new about her. I don't know why I remembered her more fondly, but when I fought her again in 3 Ultimate, it really wasn't that much different from Pink Raytheon. Thankfully, Silver Rathalos is a bit different. He does have the same story as Gold Raytheon, except his foundations were quite different. Instead of gaining 1 or 2 new attacks, which I think he does, instead he focuses more on the aspects of a Rathalos in general. As the King of the Skies, I've noticed that Silver Wrath likes to fly far more often than its counterparts, which I'll admit is really annoying, especially in the older games, because you don't really have a great way of, taking them down. All that means is that you have to carry plenty of flash bombs. While in the air, he can use a variety of aerial claw attacks and turbo fireballs that the other species can do, but he just uses them more often. There's also the fact that Silver Rathalos is heavily armored, and Gold Raytheon was like this too. But with how much Silver moves in his fight, the armor seems much more of an issue in comparison. But again, like Gold Raytheon, he gained the new incandescent state in World and Beyond, which softened his hide, making this form a double-edged sword. This added some great dichotomy to the fight because, yes, he's way more aggressive now and has way more firepower, but you have the opportunity to do a lot more damage. This may seem strange to say, but something I really like about Silver Wrath is that he's weak to water. Like, for me, especially in 3 Ultimate, this gave me more opportunities to use weapons I don't normally use this late into the game. Some monsters are weak to water, yes, but not many this far into the game. It's a small detail that I like about this monster. Featured in only Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Molten Tigrex is a fantastic rare species that has been forgotten inside the older generations. Tigrex has had quite the history as a flagship and numerous subspecies from different games. For example, there's the lightning-style Tigrex-like monster in Frontier that abuses the law of gravity. That's pretty cool, but not what we're here to talk about. Molten Tigrex starts as a rather mundane fight. He's still a Tigrex, but rather slow and nothing out of the ordinary at first. And then he enters his first rage mode. Now he's on par with a regular Tigrex that's enraged, but now he has blast powder bursting from his claws with most of his attacks. He harbors the attack patterns of both regular and brute Tigrex and can combine them together into a dangerous rampage of stomps and roars. The second enraged state has veins bursting from pretty much his entire body and is kinda like the first rage mode except a lot faster, and he does way more damage. Combine that with a potential blast ailment, you're constantly on guard from getting killed instantly. Molten Tigrex is as dangerous as a rare species should be. The others I previously mentioned can be dangerous, but the jump in difficulty from Silver Wrath to Molten is massive in my opinion. I will say he is sort of a glass cannon. He can deal insane damage, but a hunt usually doesn't take more than 12-13 minutes. And it's because in his second enraged state, he makes his entire body a massive target, and he doesn't generally leave that state. Like Silver Wrath, he takes a lot of damage from water weapons, and it just shreds his health. I like that he can actively charge his roars, and make hunters fly back from the sheer power of his lung capacity. I think it's pretty cool. And the blast ailment to this fight is a really nice touch, and overall, I think Molten is a great rare species. One of my favorite monsters in the series, Legiacris, has his own rare species. One that I think does a great job of capturing the awe and astonishment of a rare species. Abyssal Legiacris is only found within the depths beneath Moga Village, the same place where you fight Cedius. But Abyssal is a much harder fight. I'm gonna say it, perhaps one of the hardest vanilla fights in the entire series, solely because it takes place underwater. I mean, I like underwater combat, but the speed and power of Legiacris is unattainable. You were always at a disadvantage in the water. Down here, we're merely prey, basically. Abyssal Legiacris has an amazing color scheme, first of all. A lustrous black with bright blue highlights that indicate his abundant electrical power. I mean, black is one of my favorite colors, or I guess lack of colors. It's just cool, man. Now, the reason for his color scheme is because normally this rare species tends to spend time deep in the dark ocean and rarely ever comes to land. Throughout his entire fight, Abyssal Legiacris is in a constantly fully powered state. Its shell is ever bright with electricity that it can use to quite literally light up an ocean. And it's hard dodging these lightning AoEs on land as it is, but trying to dodge them underwater with no Superman dive and a much bigger radius, I mean, good luck. Even its regular attacks are that of a fully charged ivory. Abyssal is also capable of using its superior speed and larger body to create giant, underwater whirlpools that travel across the arena. Dodging his attacks, lightning AoEs, and whirlpools, Abyssal Legiacris is no joke. However, he does have some of the best equipment in the game, but getting it is an entirely different matter. I have not gotten this far in 3 Ultimate yet, when I'm playing through it again right now. But when I do, I might just use the Kobe bow solely for this monster, because that bow is broken. I love Abyssal, and now that Legiacris is back in Wilds, I'm hoping that they can do something to bring him back, or at least Ivory. I would be okay with that too. Our final stop in the Monster Hunter series will be Rise, Sunbreak, because this is where our final 2 rare species reside. The silver medal belongs to none other than Violet Mizutsune. Man, I love this fight. It's one of my favorite fights in the game and in Monster Hunter. Most rare species enhance the power or abilities of the original monster, but Violet does the complete opposite. He can still use bubbles, but these are bubbles of highly flammable oil that with the slightest friction will explode into flames. Violet Mizu uses these abilities in such creative ways that I can't help but watch sometimes. My teammates think I'm aura farming, but really I'm just trying to get good footage. It truly is a gorgeous fight, but it gets even better. When enraged, Violet Mizu can enter an awakened state where he covers himself in his own white fire. In this state, his power is astronomical, and the fire he wields is even deadlier. I'm really glad that Monster Hunter has decided to move towards multiple phases or different states that can activate accordingly. It's really cool to see, and the balancing act here is that if you deal enough damage, you can knock Violet Mizu completely out of his power, which creates a wide opening for attacks. The best part is that when he first enters this enraged state, his theme starts to play instead of the area theme, which I think is a really nice touch by the devs. With Sunbreak's faster pace and Mizu's fluid movements, it does feel like a dance, one where you have to be careful with each step. And of course, he has his own super or ultimate attack that I don't have footage of because I stopped it every single time. I will say that with the newer games, the intimidation of these rarer species or even elder dragons have kind of gone away, because now we're so advanced as hunters. It doesn't feel like we're climbing a mountain of a monster anymore, or they have an advantage. More like we're fighting on fair grounds or even on the high ground. Still, Violet Mizutsune is an incredible monster. One that I really want to fight again soon. The only thing that's holding me back is the fact that I have to restart Rise on my PC because there's no cross progression, which sucks. But whatever. There is one more rare species though that I think did things just a little bit better. At number 1, and what I think is the best rare species in Monster Hunter, is the invisible predator, Lucent Nargacuga. Now for a long time, Lucent was only in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and if that were the case today, he would still be kinda high on this list. But they decided to bring him back in Sunbreak, and his rework was beyond amazing. In the older games, Lucent Narga would go invisible with his sidesteps. You didn't know if he was simply adjusting or going to strike. Oh gosh. Back in the day, that was an anxiety inducer, even for those with stone-like skin. Now in Sunbreak, the fusion between Narga's attacks and when he turns invisible is downright phenomenal. And get this part, I don't think it's annoying. You would think a monster that can turn invisible would be stupid, right? But they did it in a way that's clever but still fair, because there's patterns that you can analyze. This plays beautifully into Nargacuga being the silent hunter who stalks his prey. I mean, what a better way to do it than completely disappear? If I were to do a top 10 favorite fights in Monster Hunter, this Lucent would easily be in the top 5. One of the few monsters ever in the series that I decided to fully master. I don't have any footage to prove it, I'll be honest, but I have hours of playing handheld on my Switch and listening to scary stories, so there you go. One of Lucent's other quirks was the poisonous tail spikes. In 3 Ultimate, whenever he would spin, poisonous spikes would go flying across the arena. In Sunbreak, he can still do that, but now he has such a wide variety of attacks on top of that. And it's indicated when his tail is fully unsheathed, which I think is pretty cool. It's not like a different state or enraged mode, he just kinda does it periodically after enough damage. And the attacks, you know, they don't make sense sometimes. I mean, he rains down an army's worth of spikes, but this is a video game, and it's cool. His ultimate is pretty awesome too. He'll jump around the arena invisible so that you'd lose track of him and slam his tail with excessive force. As you can see, I thought it was blockable, but it's not. Yet again, Sunbreak does great with the details here because during this, whenever he turns invisible, the music starts to muffle a bit. I already liked Lucent in 3 Ultimate, but this fight in Sunbreak made it 10 times better. It's a testament to how fast and evolved the games have become, that Lucent had such a big redesign fight-wise to fit the mold here. And they did a great job. Easily my favorite rare species in Monster Hunter. But of course, that's just what I think. I'm curious to see which rare species you guys have fought and which one is your favorite. I'm sure everyone's list is different, and I encourage you to post in the comments section because I want to see that. For now, the roadmap has some more Monster Hunter content. If you're curious, I have some more Monster Hunter content. I'm still playing through 3 Ultimate. Might do like a retrospective of that. The subspecies might come next, who knows. I have a couple of From Software videos in the works as well, and a horror video that I've been working on for a bit, so stay tuned. I'm gonna go write a list about all the great things about my mom and dad, which will take a while, and when I'm done, I'll be back in my next video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care everyone, and of course, stay safe.